Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Sky to right. Deep and gone!
Sanchez, pitch went deep to left field, going back, Gurriel looking up, see ya! A two-run home run for Sanchez, and the Yankees lead 2-1.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Between the Lines. I'm your host, Tanner Kern, and this show is dedicated to all things baseball. Now it's our midweek show. It's Wednesday. We usually do this on Thursdays with Eric Neff, but unfortunately we had to move the date up. And now Eric Neff is unable to join us. He has a Wi-Fi problem in his studio, so we're not going to have Eric. I know you guys all look forward to seeing him during the middle of the week, but we'll have to hold off until next time. So today we're still going to be talking about bullpens. We're going to do our weekly 3 up, 3 down bullpen segment. This week it's bullpen. So 3 up, 3 down, meaning that we talk about 3 teams, positions, players, really anything in the game that are trending upwards and 3 who are trending downwards. This week's focus is bullpen. So I'm really excited to get into that. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the Sports 2.0 network on YouTube, guys. A lot of great content. We're approaching 50 followers, 50 subscribers. Thank you so much to all you guys. This would not be possible without you. And the more subscribers we get, the better content we're able to create and the more sports we're able to put on there. So we really appreciate everything you guys do for us. Bottom of our heart for the Sports 2.0 network. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to start with the schedule or the standings. Have not really talked standings in a while. We've been doing power rankings on most of the shows. So today we're going to talk standings. Why not? It's middle of the week. Let's shake it up a little bit. We're going to start with the American League East. We got Tampa Bay in first, followed by Boston, New York, Toronto, and Baltimore. I think the biggest surprise so far has been Tampa Bay going on that 11-game win streak. It did get defeated yesterday against the Royals. Royals took them down 2-1, but they're still 30-20 on the year. And I think the thing that we need to understand about the American League East is the Red Sox are not there right now. And I know they're in second place. I know they're third in the power rankings, but the Red Sox are not going to be here in October. I need everyone to understand that. I have a Red Sox shirt on right now. So you know I'm legit when I say this. I believe this. I'm a Red Sox supporter. I love the Red Sox. But the Red Sox are not a championship caliber team this year. We don't know when Chris Sale's coming back. Chris Sale started throwing off the mound in the middle of May or the beginning of May. He's going to throw off the mound all this week. This is going to be his first really intense week. If you want to read my article on this, head over to baseballspotlight.com. But Chris Sale is not going to be back. They need a Chris Sale in their starting rotation to really carry them. Hitting wise, yeah, they can hit the ball, but are they the best hitters in the league? No. The Yankees have a more stacked roster. Toronto, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., is he the next MVP? Probably. He's going to be better than Shohei Ohtani this year by the end of the season. I know Shohei Ohtani can pitch. I know he can hit. I know that combination is not seen much in the game. It hasn't been seen since Babe Ruth. Who am I kidding? But Toronto and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. are going to be there in September. And that's going to make Vladdy the MVP, and that's going to push Boston out of that running. I think Boston's going to be in that third, fourth mix with Toronto. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get a wild card. There are some people that think Boston's going to win the division, but that is slowly starting to dissipate. As you can see, the Red Sox 6-4 in their past 10. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They should get back on it tonight. They should beat the Braves tonight, but you never know. With this division, though, I do see the New York Yankees winning outright. Then you got the Central. Good teams in the Central. The Central has been known for some good baseball over the past few years. You got the Chicago White Sox. You got the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland has been better than I think a lot of people expected. I was always one that said they're going to be there in the end. I could be wrong about that. I think that's a little risky of a take, but I still believe it. I think you got Shane Bieber on the mound. You got some hitters that can do some damage, enough damage with this pitching staff. They have a phenomenal bullpen who we're going to talk about in a little bit with James Kern leading the way. The interesting thing about the Central is when's Minnesota going to get it together? As you can see, 7-3 in their past 10. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They seem to be figuring it out. They seem to be getting a little better. Detroit, don't even talk about them. They're not worth talking about. Kansas City, they're really not worth talking about either. I think they're still a little ways away. I am excited to see Bobby Witt Jr. return to the show, but they're still not there yet. It's going to be a 3-way race between Cleveland, Chicago, and Minnesota. Minnesota is going to start getting hot. I mean, realistically, they're only 9 games out of first place. We still got a lot of time left in this season, so look out for them. And then the West, Oakland. This blows my mind with Oakland. And let me know what you guys think in the comments, but How can a team be minus 14 in run differential and be in first place in the division? That just blows my mind. I do ultimately think Houston is going to take this division. Houston 26 and 22 on the season last night, finally open up their stadium to full capacity. Guess who's in town? The Los Angeles Dodgers, the best team in baseball. I guess Houston forgot that the Dodgers travel well. It was like they were playing in Dodger Stadium last night. Fans brought trash cans, fans brought signs for the Dodgers saying how much the Astros suck, all that, they're cheaters, whatever. That narrative's done. I'm done picking on the Astros for that, but it was good to get a little laugh out of that game last night. But Dodgers blew Houston off the field. Zach Greinke did not have a good night. Still, Houston wins the American League West. Do they do anything in the playoffs? Probably not. But I do think Houston gets in. I think Oakland might get in with that wild card spot, one of those wild card spots. Remember this year, guys, the wild card's a one-game playoff. So there's been a lot of questions in the National League. Why are the Padres why are their odds so bad to win the World Series? Because most likely they're going to have to play in a wild card game and then play the best team in baseball, which is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it's going to be very hard for the Padres to win the World Series, but that's a story for a different day. And then the Angels collapse of the century. They've been pretty bad. They're going to be on our 3 down list today for bullpens, and that's not a list you want to be on. 21 and 27, 7 games out of first place. They are on a 2-game winning streak, but Shohei Ohtani is this whole team. They weren't good with Mike Trout, and they're not good without Mike Trout. Mike Trout injured 6 to 8 weeks on the injured list. It's going to be hard for them to overcome. That injury. Honestly, they don't have a great rotation. They have a horrendous bullpen right now. And Shohei Ohtani, I mean, if he doesn't show up to the plate one night, they're not going to win games. I mean, he is their team at the dish. So that's my take on the American League. We'll hop into the National League real quick. Talk about that. So let me just share my screen here, guys. Wrong screen. Working on new technology, guys. Every day we're getting better. There we go. Got the National League up. So we talk about the Mets, Braves, Phillies, Marlins, and Nats in the East. The biggest surprise, in my opinion, has been the Nationals, 20 and 24. They got it turned around. I mean, Max Scherzer was phenomenal yesterday. They still don't get a win. The Mets, that's been a huge surprise too. I mean, the Mets are playing horrendous baseball right now. They don't have a team left. Pete Alonso's hurt. Millar's hurt. Conforto's hurt. All these guys are just racked. A lot of their pitchers are beat up. It's not been a good recipe for the Mets right now. Francisco Lindor, that's one thing you got to know with Francisco Lindor. He's batting 185, I believe, on the season. He has under and 300 on base percentage, and he has a 272 slugging percentage. That needs to change right now. You don't have Pete Alonso in the lineup. You don't have your leading home run hitter. You don't have your leading RBI guy. You need to step up, Francisco Lindor. They're not paying you $341 million a year or $341 million over 10 years to walk, to make plays in the infield. They're paying you to hit the ball out of the yard. Francisco Lindor is a guy that can hit 30 bombs in a year. I think his most as ever is 38. This is a guy that needs to step up. He's only got 3 on the year right now. So for the Mets to be better, for the Mets to really succeed in this next stretch without their big guns, I mean, these injuries are going to last. They're going to prolong for a while. I mean, they're playing with the AAA team plus Francisco Lindor right now. So Lindor really needs to lead the charge. Phillies bullpen hasn't been great. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. 3-7 in their past 10, 1-game winning streak. Harper is now on the injured list. Not a good look for the Philadelphia Phillies and Joe Girardi, but if there is anyone that can get this team turned around, it is Girardi. They had a rough weekend, rough series a few weekends ago to the Toronto Blue Jays. Just have not played good baseball as of late. Miami is beating up on Philadelphia right now, thanks to Taylor Rogers. He had a good outing the other night. But my take on the East is the Braves are going to win this division. I think the Mets will probably end up in a close second if they can survive these lows with the injury. But I do think the Braves get into first place very, very soon. Then you got the Central Division, St. Louis Cardinals. Central's not good. Central is just not a good division in baseball. It's not good at all. The winner will be slightly over 500. Who knows? They might be under 500. We still got a lot of baseball left to play. You look at the run differentials in there. The Cardinals +2 in first place. The Chi Cubs are +17. Milwaukee -23. Cincinnati -22. And Pittsburgh -79. We don't even need to talk about Pittsburgh. They've been beat up enough. But with the Brewers, that's a team that's going to start coming back. Christian Yelich is now back in the lineup. If Christian Yelich can hit, obviously the Brewers are a threat. We need to talk about them. The Cubs, this is the thing I want to talk about with the Cubs is their front office is in a very difficult spot because with the Cubs, are they good or are they bad? We don't know. The Cubs really aren't a contender. It's division or bust, because if they get the wild card, they're going to have to play in a 1-game wild card against the San Diego Padres, most likely. I'm assuming the Dodgers are really going to figure it out and win that division, or it's going to be against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So figure it's one of those two teams. If they get into if they win the division, they'll get into the divisional series. They'll get a 5-game series. Luckily, a 5-game series. They don't have to play 1 game and done. They need to win this division, and most likely, if the Brew Crew gets back on track against St. Louis and all that, they're not gonna win this division. Chicago does not have the team. They have multiple free agents coming up, including Chris Bryant, including Javi Baez, including Anthony Rizzo in the field. They're in trouble right now. Craig Kimbrell is also a free agent coming up at the deadline, so that's something you got to watch out for. With them, are they going to trade these guys at the deadline, or are they going to ride with and try to win the division? I don't know. They're going to get more value at the deadline for these guys than letting them go at the end of the season, go into free agency. So it's a very tough call. I would not want to be in the front office right now for Chicago, but I think Milwaukee ends up edging this division. And then you got San Diego, Dodgers, San Francisco, got the Rockies, got the Diamondbacks. This division is going to be good. This race is going to be good. The San Francisco Giants started the weekend in first place. They dropped to third place now, that's where they're going to be. They're a third place team. That's how I would define them. You got the Padres in first, Dodgers in second. They're going to teeter. One of those teams is going to be in first 1 week. The other is going to be in first the next week. It's going to come down to the end. Fernando Tatis Jr. is on an absolute tear. He's on track to hit 45 bombs. I don't think he's played in 30 games yet because of injuries. He's just been sensational. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks are not good. The Giants are a middle of the road team. That's my take on the National League West. So that does it for the standings, guys. Let's just hop into get a quick look at Fangraphs. We'll talk about some bullpens real quick. Now with the bullpens, guys, San Diego Padres, they have the best bullpen in baseball. 19-9 on the season, 2.47 ERA, 18 saves and 27 holds. They are on the 3-up list for me today. And then you got Cleveland also on my 3-up list. Cleveland's been very good. Chicago has been good. But let's look at the bottom of the list, and let's look at the teams that are actually competitive in the bottom of the list. I think bullpens are such a critical part of the game. Obviously, we all know that, but we don't focus on them a lot. But there's a reason that good teams are good and bad teams are bad. Let's look at the bottom real quick. Detroit, Colorado, Cincinnati, Arizona, LA Angels, Minnesota, Milwaukee. Okay, so the only contender in that first stretch is Milwaukee. Okay. Philadelphia, Atlanta. Atlanta hasn't been playing good baseball, but they are a contender. So we have 2 contenders. Baltimore, Kansas City Royals, Houston, 3. St. Louis, 4. I'd say they're a contender. Texas Rangers, 5. Not a contender. Pittsburgh, not a contender. Oakland. So we have 6 contenders. 6 contenders in the bottom 15 spots. You go to the top. Padres, yes. Cleveland, yes. Chicago, I'd say yes, because they could win the division. 4. Yankees, yes. Mets, yes. They're in first place. Dodgers, yes. Rays, yes. Blue Jays, yes. Boston, yes. Miami, and not great, but they are known for their pitching. So in the top 10 spots, the best bullpens in baseball, 9 of them are teams that have a chance of making the postseason. That's how critical bullpens are. I wanted to show this list because of that. But again, Padres been sensational. The pen, they have 208 innings out of their relievers, and that's because their starters haven't been as great as we would have expected. Yu Darvish has been good. But a guy like Blake Snell, who we saw yesterday, Blake Snell needs to be a lot better, has not shown a lot as of late. He needs to go deeper in games. He's a guy that's been going 4 or 5 innings. Blake Snell needs to go 6, 7 innings like we saw in the World Series last year when Kevin Cash pulled him. We need that Blake Snell back. So just wanted to show this to demonstrate how critical it is for bullpens in today's game. So now we're going to get into the 3-up, 3-down list. This is Eric Neff's list. This is his go-to. He came up with this. So I'm kind of not going off the top here, but I'm going to explain them. I don't know if I'll explain them as good as Eric Neff, but let's get right into it. So 3-up, 3-down. Again, 3 teams or leagues or players or positions, anything in baseball that's trending up, 3 who are trending down. We're going to start with the down. We'll finish on a high note. First of all, down, Los Angeles Angels. Why are they on the down list? Well, the Angels are first in home runs allowed with 34 this year. That has not been good out of them. And you know what? I can't say that it's all the bullpen's fault, because bad bullpens are created from bad starting rotations. And the Angels just don't have a great starting rotation besides a guy like Shohei Ohtani. And even with Shohei, he's not going deep into games, and that is hurting the Angels. I think they need to move Shohei to the bullpen in future seasons. He's more valuable there. He's more valuable with the bat in his hand. But Angels first in home runs allowed, and that's just out of the pen. So they need to be a lot better. But like I said, bad bullpens are created by bad starting rotations, and that's just the deal with the Los Angeles Angels. Then you got another down team, the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies have really struggled. It's been sad to watch because I was a fan of the Phillies. I like what they were doing the first week of the season. Bryce Harper was really firing the fans up. There seemed to be excitement about Philadelphia baseball again, which was great. We haven't had that in a very long time. The Phillies, 9 blown saves this year with a 4.59 ERA. Now, 9's middle of the road. It's middle of the road, getting closer to worst. I think the worst team in baseball has about 16 blown saves right now. But the 4.59 ERA out of the pen is not great. You have guys like Zach Wheeler coming out of your starting rotation. You need to be better. If they give you a game in the 7th, and it's a couple run game, and you end up giving 4 or 5 runs, that can't happen. That's why the Phillies have not been successful. Phillies starting rotation, I don't have many problems with a lot of their guys in their starting rotation. There are some that really need to step their game up, but the relief staff has not been good, especially guys like David Hale and Connor Brogdon. Hale 4.79 ERA, Brogdon 5 ERA. Both these guys have 20+ innings on the season, so they need to get a lot better. For the Los Angeles Angels, these are two guys for the Philadelphia Phillies, these are two guys they rely on, and they're just letting that bullpen staff down. And again, starting pitching. Phillies have had more starting pitching than Los Angeles Angels. If you give your relief staff 2-3 innings to finish a game, they got to be able to do it. Then finally, the last down team on my list here is the Atlanta Braves. I'm going to show a clip here of Josh Tomlin giving up back-to-back bombs against the Brew Crew. This is a team that doesn't really hit the ball well. Back-to-back bombs from about a week ago. There was the first one. Now with Josh Tomlin, he's a guy, 6+ ERA. He's thrown 23 innings on the year. He carries a bulk of the innings out of the bullpen for the Braves. But again, I'm going to keep reiterating this fact. Bad starting pitching equates to bad relief pitching. Have the Braves had a good starting rotation? Has Max Fried done his job this year? Has Max Fried, the ace, done his job? Drew Smyly's been pretty good, but has a guy like Max Fried done his job? No, he hasn't. Braves 7-13 with a 4.56 ERA this season out of the pen. That's not good. It's unacceptable, but bad rotations create bad relief staffs. And the Braves just haven't had it on either side of the ball. They are starting to hit a little bit better. They are starting to hit. One thing to note with them, Marcell Ozuna is on the injured list now with I believe it was his finger. I believe someone stepped on his finger or something. He wasn't wearing his pad. I don't know what the deal was, but he is injured, and that is not good for them because they were starting to hit the ball. And another thing that can save a bad relief staff is a good hitting staff, and the Braves have it. Can they find it again, though? I don't know. So again, Josh Tomlin, 6.26 ERA in 23 innings. That needs to change. Now we're going to get into the upside of the list. These are my three best teams in baseball right now that are trending upwards. Padres, obviously, first in saves with 18. You saw their name on the front of the list. Second in innings pitched with 218. That is because guys like Blake Snell not going deep into the games. The bullpen has had to pick up the slack. Two guys have really stepped up and been the stars of the show. Craig Stammen, 1.88 ERA. Mark Melancon, 0.84 ERA. Here's a clip of Stammen getting a ground ball double play to get out of a jam here, win the game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, but hey, win's a win, right? Boom. Nice turn. Now, this has been the routine for Stammen and Melancon. I don't have a clip of Melancon, but both of those guys have been able to get out of jams effectively. When the Padres have put them in, they've done a great job finding a way to get wins. Then you got the Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians have my favorite closer in the game. I know we talk all the time about Aroldis Chapman. We talk about those kind of guys. We talk about Craig Kimbrell, but I love James Karinchak. He is phenomenal. Here's Karinchak doing some work about a week ago. This was I believe it was a 6-out save that he got against Detroit Tigers. Again, it's Tigers, I know, guys, but hey, win's a win, right? Just mowing down batters. And I love his release, too. It's so hard to pick up his pitches. You look at how he hides the baseball. I mean, that is very, very difficult for hitters to read. Just his ability to hide the ball. I mean, that's some mechanics that you just don't see every day. It's not like anyone else in this league. And those are the kind of pitchers that are very successful. Bases loaded jam here, gets out of it. You see the emotion out of Karinchak there when he sees the pop fly hit. Boom, gets out of the jam. Lovely job by James Karinchak. And Karinchak has led this bullpen. They are the second-ranked bullpen in Major League Baseball right now for good reason. Their bullpen's been keeping them alive. I know I talked about Shane Bieber and their starting rotation. The rotation has not been great, but their bullpen has kept them in games. They pushed across just enough runs to win. So that's been fun to watch. Karinchak, his strikeout numbers, 40 strikeouts in 21.2 innings of work. Very nice work out of Karinchak this year. I expect him to be an all-star. We'll see. He's got a tough closer to compete with, though, in that all-star vote, and that is Aroldis Chapman. And up next, the New York Yankees. New York Yankees are phenomenal. I mean, they are getting better. The hitting's coming along. The starting pitching's coming along. The relief staff is coming along. It's been very fun to see. But Chapman has been the reason that the Yankees have one of the best bullpens in the league. 0.47 ERA with a league-leading 11 saves. Chapman's a guy that you put in the game, you know, teams aren't really going to be able to hit him much. The other night, the Yankees did get out of a jam with him. They turned a triple play against the White Sox to close out a win on Friday night. But still, Chapman has been sensational. It's very tough to pick up his fastball. It's coming in 100, and now he's got a great changeup, filthy off-speed arsenal in general, and it's just made him very tough to stop. Here's Chapman the other day. This is a week ago, I believe, against the Rays, getting a save in the bottom of the ninth inning in a 1-0 game. Aaron Judge coming in, making a play for his teammate, but that's a weak hit ball. That's never dropping. Against Randy Arozarena. Here's Mike Brosseau at the plate. Gets Mike Brosseau swinging 101 mile an hour fastball in the outside corner. Just nasty. Boom. And then finally, last batter, who's his last victim here? He got the stare down. Can't forget that. Manuel Margot gets him to pop up. Not a chance. And the Yankees win. This has been the common theme. If you've watched any Yankee games this year, it's Aroldis Chapman. He has been the guy that has led them to victory, along with that man right there, Garrett Cole. The Garrett Cole to Aroldis Chapman punch is pretty deadly. And the Yankees bullpen's only going to get better. So that does it, guys, for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little shorter than usual. We usually have Eric Neff on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We really dive into these 3 up, 3 down topics. Figured I'd shake it up a little bit, and we are going to revisit bullpens next week when he joins me back on the show, when he gets his Wi-Fi up working again. So that does it, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Sports 2.0 Network. We have a ton of great content on there. I give you the spiel every morning, every day, but subscribe. That's a tongue twister. The more subscribers we get, the more videos we put up, the better content it is. So thank you to everyone who has done that, and we look forward to continuing to providing you guys with the best content in sports. So that does it, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you on Monday for another episode of Between the Lines.
Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Sky to right.